What's going on, everybody? It's Greg. Just going to do a quick little update. Try to make it kind of a quick one. Uh, this tank, the only thing that's really changed is I got rid of all the neons. Gave them to a buddy of mine. They all made the trip fine over to his place, except for one. It died like a day and a half later. So that kind of sucked. But all the total of 12 or 13 went, and only one died. But so that was pretty good. And he's got a nice bunch of neons. I took the wood out of here to be able to catch the neons, but I decided to leave it out of here until I can get the angelfish out, and then I'm going to move the pencilfish over here. Um, my red crypts are growing back, which is very cool. I'm very happy about that. All three of them have some new growth on them. Even the green has new growth on it right there. I added a couple more assassin snails since I started seeing more and more the ram's horn snails in here, and I was trying to get them gone. And I hadn't seen the original assassin snail that I'd put in here for a while, so I decided to get a few more and try about getting these things cleared out of those ram's horn snails. Once they're all gone and I get the assassins out of here, I'll probably put pond snails back in. I do like snails, but I don't like the ram's horn because they eat the plants. The pond snails never messed with the plants that bad, especially with like the lilies. Very happy about this tank right now. Besides the fact of those pencil fish, that male and female running around, and there was just a female sitting over here in the corner. I don't know where it swam off to, but their dish or feeding ring drifted under the water just today. I got to get in there and take some of that duckweed out so I can get that back on the surface. Very stoked. One of my Amazon swords just put out a runner. It's the first time I've ever had an Amazon sword put out a runner. So very happy about that. Oh, look at that female. Oh, and a male coming over to say hi. But can't wait to get those guys into the 25 long. I think it'll be much better for them. This is the tank that I moved the angelfish into, the half blacks. It's got the lamp eyes and the white clouds in it. It's doing very good. Everyone in here is getting along very well. I'm really liking the fact that the half blacks' tails are coming in again. When they were in the 25, they were kind of nipping at each other a bit, so the little rays on the end of the tails weren't coming in very well. And now that they've got the room to stay away from each other a little bit, I mean, there's still a little, they're angelfish, they're cichlids. What do you expect? But for the most part, they're not going after each other's tails, and the tails are coming in. The rays are looking really good. Doing more water changes on this tank, trying to get those guys to grow a little quicker, so I can move the angelfish over, the big angelfish over into this tank with them, and I can move the pencilfish into that tank. But the plants I got doing it in the pots are doing pretty good, so very happy about that. And my river flow tank, I put my tiger barbs in here. Only lost one during the transfer, and it was the female black ruby barb. The male black ruby barb is still in here. You can see him right there. He has started to color down a little bit since there's no female in there for him to be presenting to. But it's been 3 or 4 days, and he still has a little bit of purple there in his face. But this is always a fun tank to watch, especially now these guys in here. They're active. You guys have any fish that are real active, nippers, stuff like that? Look where they come from. It might be that they come from rivers and stuff like that, where like tiger barbs do. They originally come from rivers. Yes, they have been pond bred and everything like that, but they're still an active fish. Very moving around a lot, nipping at each other and stuff like that. They still do it even in here with the current, but it's a lot less. It's a quick nip and then float back and kick back in the current. They're not struggling to swim or anything in here. I've watched them swim around the tank several times in a row with no problem. But they swim to the front and hang out in the front and drift to the back. I mean, if you guys have any fish that are real nippy and love to swim a lot, back and forth across your tank a whole lot, it might be worth trying a tank like this where you got a nice little current going in it. I mean, I love sitting here and watching these guys. I feed them twice a day just because they're in there swimming. I think they should have a bit more food. Just if you're swimming in a current. I mean, you got to be having food, otherwise you're going to start losing strength. And so I give them, I do 2 small feedings a day on them. So, alright, this is a tank with the swordtails in it. This tank is really taking off plant-wise. The frog bit and the water lettuce have really grown in to the point that several places you can't see across the back, and that's a little bit of the, it's a bright light, but I'm looking for the first 1.5 inches down, I can't see through the water either. So, I mean, I can't get a good shot of it with the light on. But here. Come on. Refocus. It's basically like this all the way across. But I need to get in there. I want to get the duckweed out of this one. I took the duckweed out of that tank. You can see the surface is pretty clear. I do have the water lettuce. There is a little bit of left in that tank, but I'm going to get that out here shortly, hopefully. I'm going to try to do the same thing with this, and I'm going to take some of the frog bed out and move that over into that tank as well. The swordtails are doing good. All 7 of them are in here, and they just go around and peck on stuff all day. The bristlenose fry, this is where the wood went that came out of the other tank. The bristlenose fry, I did a video a couple minutes ago. They were a couple of them sitting on there. You can see one of the fries sitting right there. But there's about 8 of them that I've counted. Could be more, might be less. I don't know. Hard to say. One sitting right there on the front. They are all out of the cave. This is the cave that they bred in. It's just a cichlid stone. I turned it to face forward, and the male doesn't seem too happy about that, unfortunately. He's come back to it a couple times, but he seems to scatter whenever I come near. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull that Java fern down over here, just right in front of the glass, so it just kind of blocks the view of me. I'll still be able to tell if he's there or not, but it might make him more comfortable that he'll go back in there. There are no fish left, or no fry left in there. I've already looked. They are out. I added another piece of driftwood into this tank. That's kind of why it's hard to tell how many. They could be sitting on that. They could be sitting on the dark wood here. They could be sitting on the dark piece of wood back there. And then there's just nooks and crannies all throughout this tank. So I don't see too many of them often feeding on the zucchini squash. I put it up in the corner here since this is where I see most of them. I was putting it down on the bottom, and I never saw any of the young ones on there, so I decided to hang it up high. And I've seen them on them. I've seen it on them. Seen them on it since I've had it there, which I'm very happy about. And they seem to be doing good, even if they're just going to feed off the leaves. I mean, here's a little one right there. Sorry about the light glare. Another one right there. And there's, I've counted about 8. So, could be more, could be less. Just stoked that I have them. Oh, this too. See this little green pod right? Found this little pod the other day. And I think it fell off of my flowering spongum bulb. Mine flowers quite a bit. I've got like 4 flowers out right now. Looks like another one coming up back there. But looks like one of the pods that are sitting right here. I've got another one sitting back on there. It's a darker green. Just doesn't want to focus in right now. And there's one under the water right there. But I think it's dropped off as a new way of propagating itself, which is kind of cool since the only way I've ever seen it done is runners. But y'all have a good one.